So sometimes when we're scoring a conversation, we want to capture more than just the pass-fail criteria or the scoring templates for each line item. Sometimes we want to capture additional data. Now that might be from a specific selection of options or just a free text field. And that's where data capture questions come in. That allows you to capture more than just scoring outcomes. Now, to show you what this looks like, okay, so we're in the middle of evaluating this conversation here. Now, our scorecard is all the things we would expect, our line items, our scoring options, our feedback capability, so that we can provide that feedback to the agent. But let's say there were additional things that we wanted to capture over and above the line item scores. This is where data capture questions come into play because that allows us to, in this example, we are capturing the customer relationship state. So whether it was a new customer, etc. As the evaluator, I can come in here and select whichever one applies. And I can also add in some free text in there as well. In this example, these are for external factors that could have perhaps influenced the context of the contact. So let's just add some details in there. Just one take. And then we can go ahead and publish that. Now, the real benefit here of these data capture questions is it obviously does allow you to capture that additional data. But when it comes to choosing a specific preset option, this will then filter through into our reports as an available filter. So if I come to my KPI report as an example, using the filters, we can sort through and filter our performance data. Now, coming into the filters and hitting show more, we now can access the data capture question as a filter. So based on whatever's been selected in the evaluations for that particular data capture question, you can then filter your performance data by that criteria. So we can see that evaluation that we've just done in here. Let me just change that to agent so we can see that. There we go. And then we can see the evaluation in there. So it's a really cool way to customize the filters and the ability to capture that additional data in your scorecards. Okay, so now that we know what data capture questions look like and what we use them for, how do we create them and add them to our scorecards? So let's dive into that. So right now we are looking at a quality evaluation scorecard. So we've got our usual line items here and our scoring criteria, etc. But what we want to do is actually come out of this and we come to our quality settings. Now, in our data capture element, this is where we build in the library of data capture questions, which are then added into the scorecard. So we can create a new question. We can put in our question title. We do have the option where we can allow for the evaluator to select multiple responses. We're just going to say no for this example. If we were going to have this as a free text response, we would change this to yes. But for now, we're going to add in our responses. So let's say new customer. Established customer. Recently renewed churn risk. Okay, now we can set defaults for any of these so that we don't need to go into the data capture question every time and select one. So let's say we will select this as the default. We can then save the changes there and we're presented with this view. Now, at this moment in time, because it's not being used in any evaluations or included in any scorecards, the status is shown as unused. And that being the case, we can edit this and delete it. Once it's actually being used in scorecards, that option disappears. We can't delete it. We can deactivate it so that it's not used anymore, but to preserve the reporting, it stays there. Let's add in our next one. So we'll say new question, and we will call this external factors influencing context. So this time we'll just say yes for that. Now we do get the option here, because it's free type, we can set it as being a numerical response only, but we're just quite happy with the free text. So let's save the changes in there, and we can see we've got our data capture question shown in there. Now this time, when we come back to our scorecard, when we come down to the bottom, we have the option to add in the data capture questions. So we can say, here's our customer relationship set, and then we can add in the external factors. So when we preview this, when we get down to the bottom of the scorecard, we've got the data capture elements where we can come in and select whichever one is appropriate, and we can add in it's 1T. Okay. And then we can add in the free text as well, so that when we publish the evaluation result, that will then be attached onto that evaluation.